Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Morning Coffee. I got my coffee locked and loaded, ready to go, because we are going to talk about some very interesting stuff. Why the heck is Bitcoin going down? I answered that in a video already, but more importantly, what's coming next? I think there is a huge supply shock coming, and yet the Bitcoin price is going down. So let's discuss what is happening and what is going to happen in a couple of days, and how a lot of people will get wrecked because of that. But all of that right after the intro. So, good morning to each and every one of you. I have a lot of people in the chat already, and I have a lot of rare hodlers, as we can see here. So, first of all, I want to welcome Winter Bear and Trucking Hank. So you see the profile pic just here, Winter Bear, right? Where is my finger? There. And then in the middle, just so that it's visible, the Darth Vader, Trucking Hank. So good morning to these rare hodlers. Is that actually Winter Bear? Now it says Pro Legendary on your name. Wasn't that Winter Bear before? But correct me if I'm wrong. I will correct that otherwise. But I was pretty sure it was that. Anyways, we have a lot of people here already in the chat. Motili says good morning. MVE says good morning. JKRB, welcome to the stream. Duck and Cover says morning all. Can't believe I'm actually early this time. Yeah, what's going on? Okay, Jonas is also here. Hey Jonas, my rare hodler, what's going on? And Pro Legendary is former Winter Bear, and yes, I will change the name. Next stream you will have the Pro Legendary name. I was confused, but yeah. Green Lantern also here. Good morning and smashed. Yeah, guys, make sure to smash up the like button as hard as you can to bring the stream out to each and every one, to invite them here to discuss with us, and make sure to be subscribed with notifications on. I have to shill something to you quickly. I hope I can find it because I forgot to open it. We are going to have a guest on stream tomorrow. It's going to be Ron's Crypto Therapy. And we are going to talk the overall market, altcoins, but most importantly, we are going to talk Ecomi and Veve. So here it is. This is going to how it's going to look like. Let's get the chat a little bit bigger here. So here you see the amazing, impressive thumbnail. And yeah, that's what we are going to talk about. Ecomi Veve, altcoins, his take on the market, his take on these coins. And we're going to discuss, and it's going to be a big discussion, a huge discussion. Tomorrow, 6 p.m. EST, that's about midnight in Europe, we are going to have that discussion. And this is very important, listen carefully. This discussion involves, in the end, a huge giveaway. So there's going to be a giveaway. So unfortunately, that means if you want to take part in this giveaway from Europe, you have to stay up a little bit more. And I'm going to show tomorrow what this giveaway is. It's going to be big, yeah? Sponsored by the Gold Dragon Club. Anyways, let's go and talk what's going to happen. And this guy here, Invest Answers, he put out something super interesting about the Bitcoin supply shock that is about to happen, and how the Bitcoin ETFs is influencing that. Trucking Hank also here. Good morning. I have a lot of rare hodlers here today. I like that. If you want to become a rare hodler, I will be really happy, guys. The ones that are not yet. But yeah, so here, BlackRock took 11,500 Bitcoin from the supply in 2 days. 900 Bitcoin are issued daily only. And you can see BlackRock's move into their cash supply from last night into Bitcoin, buying the dip. Now they mostly hold Bitcoin. The key point is 11,500 BTC were sucked from the system in 2 days by only one player. That alone is approximately 13 days of supply. In addition, IBIT spot ETF only managed an average of 25% of the volume over 2 days. So we can assume 46,000 in 2 days were sucked out. Net, if this pace continues, we are facing a severe supply crunch. Assuming 11,500 times 4, 46,000 or 23,000 Bitcoin per day, that's 25.56 times the daily production consumed by US ETFs per day alone. Forget about retail investors, other global ETFs, etc. Ignore price fluctuation. This asset is incredibly hard. So if that holds true, that there are 23,000 Bitcoin roughly sucked out of the market. Obviously, if the price goes up, it's probably less, right? But something around that. That means that at the moment, at this current pace, all the miners need about 25 days, almost a month, to reproduce that same amount of Bitcoin to supply the market. If we go beyond the halving in 3 months, then they will need 50 days to service that. Because then the Bitcoin reward is going to be slashed in half, as you can see here, right? This is still marking the 2020 because this is a super old screenshot, but the numbers hold true. So at Genesis, you got for a block, you got 50 Bitcoin, and then 2012, you got 25, and then 2016, you got 12.5. 4 years ago, you got 6.25, and now, after the halving in 2024, in 3 months, we will get 3.125 Bitcoin as a reward for one block. So you see here, right, the supply gets cut in half once again. And 2028, which is also not too far away, it will be only 1.5 Bitcoin per block reward. And yeah, then where Coffe Wood basically sees a $1.5 million Bitcoin is when we do not even get 1 Bitcoin per block reward anymore. So right now we get like 5 times that, right? So you really see that there is a huge buyer side and there is just ever smaller servicing of that buyer side, and that is really crazy. So this also leads to apparently Samson Moe to believe that Bitcoin will surge to $1 million within days or weeks once the supply crunch hits. So the forecast hinges on a perceived supply shock driven by demand from recently approved Bitcoin ETFs and the upcoming halving event. I can imagine that because it would basically create retail FOMO, right? So if we see prices go up and Bitcoin just get drained left and right from everywhere and the exchanges, because we saw in the previous streams that also Coinbase is selling OTC. They sold like 7.7 billion worth of Bitcoin OTC to some of these these asset managers, right? So yeah, it's referring to the same supply shock. I don't know if it would jump to 1 million or so, but I think there could be a significant jump once the real supply crunch hits. And we cannot forget that we still do not have the catalysts that bring massive amounts of money into the market to buy that all up from retail side. That will also enable now the retail people to buy spot Bitcoin ETF shares with it. So people that would not be part of the FOMO are going to be part of the FOMO right now. So I don't know if diminishing returns will stand with this, right? The VV Zombie is also here. Yo, good morning. What's going on, VV Zombie? I hope you're as bullish as I am. Look at this. Right now, the most of the Bitcoin ETFs are not there yet, right? This is still the leaderboard of the Bitcoin ETFs, and you can see here obviously Grayscale, because of the conversion, is way up there with 617,000 Bitcoin in the Bitcoin GBTC trust. But then there's already the Purpose Bitcoin ETF and the German ETC group ETF with 34 and 26,000 Bitcoin. That's what they're holding, right? And then BlackRock is catching up with 11,500 Bitcoin. And Bitwise and so on, There is coin shares from Sweden with 18,000, but you see all of the US ones, they are still somewhere down below. There is a Brazilian hashtag Bitcoin ETF and so on, but there are many US ETFs that just have started, and on the first day they put themselves everywhere across the leaderboard, right? But this is going to change. This picture is going to change. If we are going to see this week and the next weeks and the Bitcoin, like the inflows, we will see that these will climb the ladder, and probably in the end of the year, all of the US ones will be leading this ETF leaderboard. I mean, if Bitwise and BlackRock did 11,000 in the first day, they and keep in mind that these products were not traded on the weekend, right? TomTom says ETF is a flop, sell everything. Bullshit, really. It absolute bullshit. It's not a flop. The reason, watch my video, guys, watch my video from yesterday. The reason why there was a sell-off is because miners are buying mining equipment and preparing for reserves for high energy throughput before the halving. There is a gap between what miners cannot realize at every point optimal prices for them, so they have to take the chance right now before there's a pre-halving sell-off to purchase the mining equipment right now. I have laid out all the reasons in my latest video. It's not a total flop. There is not zero demand. You will see. You will see. You can come back in a couple of months to this stream and tell me I told you so. But there is not zero demand, as we can see here. There is in fact quite a bit of demand. Bitcoin is easy to buy for everyone that wants to buy it on an exchange and hold it in a wallet. But there are a couple of groups, I laid this out as well. 30K can become, 32K can be coming, but that doesn't have anything to do with zero demand or not. It's just the nature of the market. There is new demand for Bitcoin. Yes, there is. There is new demand for Bitcoin. We saw wallet growth left and right, and there is demand, especially for institutions, for a custodian that holds those Bitcoin. There's no need for an individual of 60 years old, for example, to learn how to deal with an exchange and put that all on a wallet. Yeah, and then the risk of forgetting your seed phrase, not being able to include it into your heritage, whatever, right? There is a need for spot Bitcoin ETF for people that have large amounts of money. Would you be comfortable with $1 billion of your money held on ledger? Because I am already not very comfortable with like $10,000 held on a ledger, right? Also, I'm not comfortable. This guy will not be comfortable leaving $1 billion on an exchange. So where do you put it if you don't let it on ledger and not on an exchange and not in Trust Wallet? Well, let's have someone else be responsible, like BlackRock, like too big to fail company, right? Have someone else be responsible for that money. That is basically the reasoning for all of the people that did not come into Bitcoin right now. Yeah, I appreciate you challenging this thought. I appreciate it. But 30K coming doesn't have anything to do with whether you need Bitcoin or not, right? And by the way, you say let's challenge one point. You put out a lot of things here, so let's challenge one by one. So zero demand. There are institutions that bought Bitcoin and that held Bitcoin. So there's not zero demand, right? MicroStrategy holds what? How much do they hold? Like 600,000 Bitcoin or so. And again, the argument of Bitcoin is easy to buy. Ask your grandmother, ask your father, ask your uncles and cousins how they would buy Bitcoin. You would see that it's not that easy to buy, right? And then there's another thing. So an ETF in the US is fairly simple, right? So you have gold ETF, for example. You could say the same thing for gold. Like, why would there be demand for gold, right? But in Europe and in other continents is even more interesting, and maybe in the future this will be part of the US as well, that you could have Bitcoin as part of a mixed ETF, right? So it would be possible then to that it's just part of an ETF that is pieced together out of different asset types, right? Half gold, half Bitcoin, for example, or something like that, or like in some bigger ETF, 0.5% Bitcoin. Another piece is pension funds will never buy OTC Bitcoin and put it on a ledger, right? They will just they will just put in a spot Bitcoin ETF. Let's see what else. Coinbase is easy for Americans to purchase Bitcoin. There is no new demand. Bitcoin is going to crash lower in New York, open Monday morning. No one is putting 1 billion into Bitcoin. You're dreaming. Oh, really? How much did MicroStrategy put into Bitcoin again? How much did Tesla put into Bitcoin once again? Wasn't that 1 billion? Duck and Cover says, I remember when I first got into crypto, it was confusing and scary. There will be millions of people who prefer to let their manager do that. TomTom says BlackRock can go bankrupt. Yeah, BlackRock can go bankrupt, that's true, but the likelihood of BlackRock going bankrupt is way lower than all the crypto exchanges combined. You don't understand America. I know America well. No one wants Bitcoin that can't already buy it. I am talking about first quarter 2024. Yeah, but all your arguments are based on not on first quarter 2024. The first quarter of 2024 will not have the halving. We are overheated on Bitcoin, and it has nothing to do with demand or not. The ETF is a flop. Watch and learn. Let's talk on Friday. Yeah, but why do you have such a short-sighted view of only 1 week? Why do you want to make a point of only 1 week? It seems so to me. It seems that you need Bitcoin to go down. So either you are in a heavy leveraged short, or you missed out getting into Bitcoin, or you are still waiting on the sidelines for 12k Bitcoin, and now you're mad that it's up. But why only until Friday? Let's talk frequently and see where it's going. I agree with you that Bitcoin will go down in the short term, but it's because miners are selling. You can see it on CryptoQuant, the outflow. Miners sold $1 billion of Bitcoin in a single day. GM all, says Sven. Big J78 says BTC has $1 trillion market cap. $1 billion is nothing for BTC. Learn math, TomTom. Philippe B says, could it be that the name of your dog is America? Then yes, you know America. You're dreaming, man. Did MicroStrategy need an ETF to buy? No, MicroStrategy doesn't need an ETF to buy. That is true. But also MicroStrategy did not have an ETF to buy, and therefore it was one of the only companies. But there are companies that are using the ETF option to purchase, also because it's easier and it's more clear in regulation, because it's a registered security, the ETF, right? Did Sailor need an ETF to buy Bitcoin? Again, no, he did not. Sven said, I want BTC on ETF and have BTC. Green Lantern says, bear alert. The ETF is a flop. You said that already. I went up from 16,000 based on this ETF, and there is no demand. Yeah, but you went up from 16,000 to 45,000, and you have only one of 4 big catalysts. The reason why people believe that it's a sell the news event is because they believe that everything where news are coming out that are known to the public is a complete sell the news event. In this case, we have a sell the news effect that is very shallow. We have a GBTC sell-off effect that is very shallow. And we have a heavy impact selling event of over 1 billion Bitcoin hitting the market from miners. I proved it on my last video. TomTom, please go and watch my last video. Let the smart man win, yeah. And it's fine if he's a trader and he goes short right now and Bitcoin goes down to 32K and then up from there in a big way. That's fine, right? Duck and Cover says the ETF isn't a flop. It didn't send it to the moon, but it changed the image and legitimizes BTC as an asset to most people. That's a win. It didn't send it to the moon, but basically the ETF did send it, as TomTom rightfully says. The ETF did send it from rumor to news from 15,000 to 45,000. That's a 3x on your capital. TomTom says I've been in Bitcoin since 2010. So congratulations, if you are in Bitcoin since 2010, then you are a multi-millionaire because you held your Bitcoin from 2010 until now. How can you be bearish on Bitcoin if you have made all of that trajectory and you went from 8 cents to $45,000? Just a few weeks ago, people were begging for 40K Bitcoin. Now, after a dump, we are at 42. Why complain? Yeah, we complain because we didn't even get lower. But let's talk. Okay, you think it changed the image? If you watch American news, every news is calling it a money laundering. Yeah, they do that all the time. They obviously, but the financial instrument of the ETF, they will not call it a money laundering. Yeah. Yes, I am a multi-millionaire, correct? Interesting. So that's fine. That's very good. And we are going to take it into consideration what you're saying. So getting with this awesome discussion into the next round here, I have to say I agree with him that we are going lower. Yeah, but the reason for that, I don't agree that it's just the ETF is a flop. I think that we will have the ETF effect kicking in during the year, like slowly but surely there will be more Bitcoin flowing into those ETFs. The ETFs will grow in size and we will still go down in price, in my opinion. So we hit our head on overhead resistance. We had a sell-off in Bitcoin of, now we're down 13%, but totally we went 15% down. That's not a big sell-off. And we could be seeing something like, so we lost this trend line here, right? And now we're getting something, so we're unsure, right, at the moment, because this green candle here still has 16 hours to close, but at the moment it looks like a bearish retest on the level that we lost. So we dropped, we could be hitting our head, and then we could come lower. How low? Not sure. But considering that on the weekly we are, that is the monthly, but considering that on the weekly we are pretty oversold, overbought, sorry, not oversold. Considering that we are pretty overbought on a weekly, let me open this a little bit more. We are kind of, I mean, you could still see something like a fake back in, right, into this trend line, but the likelihood of a bearish retest is there. And if that happens, then we could see over the next coming 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks, some more downside. And how far could this downside go? So there's a CME gap open at 39,000, so we could go lower. There is the possibility to go as low as this, right? So technically, maybe because of this trend line already, I would say the more we get, the longer it takes, the more shallow it will be. I mean, we could theoretically flash crash to this and then come back up, but the longer it takes, the less lower we will go. I think 32,000 or something like that here is the absolute minimum that I see the price going to. Bitcoin should be over 50k right now. As a holder of Bitcoin, you think I don't care about the short term for some reason? I think you care about the short term because of trading, maybe. TomTom says, I just made 3x my money. Tom Crown called 30k. I agree with him. He is one of the best on YouTube. Okay, but I don't understand really what the argument, like what's the fundament for that? And maybe yes, look, I agree with the lowest possible price targets for a retracement. I agree with you, right? So you think I want to lose 25% of my money? No, I don't think so. You could have sold probably. You could have taken a trade. I don't know. I don't know your finances. I cannot prove if what you're saying is true. I can only believe you and say, hey, it's fine. And let's face it, this is the biggest confluence area that we had. This is previous bull market support of the previous bull run. It's sitting at 30,900. And this is also where I would say a retest would be logical too, right? This year. Because we hit our head twice, we smashed through it, we never came back down to retest it. So yes, it would be logical to come back down to this. But that doesn't mean that the Bitcoin ETF doesn't take effect over the long haul by draining Bitcoin from the market when people are coming into the Bitcoin ETF. I'm not saying that this is the main driver. I'm just saying it will have an effect. But I agree with you that it can come back down to this. It could also be that it doesn't come back down to exactly this. But there will definitely be downside at some point. Nothing goes up forever in a straight line. What is going to take an effect, which is way harder than the Bitcoin ETF in itself, is the halving, because it cuts the supply. And no matter where the demand is coming from, it's cutting the supply in half. And this in itself will go full send. I don't know about you, but it's not too far away to take out the all-time high. So if we go retest and then we go parabolic, that can happen, in my opinion. It all depends, in my opinion, on the time frame that you're setting. I have a minimum downside target of 39,000 and I don't even know if it will reach it, right? But there could be always some FUD, black swan and thing coming in that is capable of sending it to 30k. The question is how many people missed the move and will try to buy it before, right? Before we come to this teal line. I always, and if you are watching me every time, I always said this already in the bear market, that this is the most important part, line, overhead resistance back then, support right now. If this is broken, it's bear market, right? But it will not be, probably. It will act as a big support if we come back down to retest it. And then, yes, breaching through this, I think we will fairly quickly be at or around new all-time high, and then we'll face a big resistance at 69,000, breaching previous all-time high. Somewhere here will be big resistance again. There's not too much that separates us from there, but I think it will happen over time. Now, what else did I have? Oh yeah, I wanted to show this. So despite us being down on 42,000, the fear and greed index still shows greed at 60, right? So in my opinion, the correction is not over, because I think that this probably needs to be more in a reddish territory for us to say, okay, most people are fearful again. This is the time where big actors are going to buy. I showed this in my video, I still believe, and I stick to this, no matter what, maybe we disagree on this, TomTom, but I still stick to it. I still stick to what I said in my video from yesterday, that the miners have caused the sell-off. And this is on every bull run, this is part of the game, right? This is 2016-17. You were there. You are since 2010 in the market, so you will remember probably each and every one of these corrections, 40, 25, 40, 35, 35, 40, 40, 40% down. Also here, it would not be out of the ordinary to say, hey, could we go down 36.6%? This would be 36.6% if we were going down until 31,000 there and thereabout, where this teal line sits. Yeah, would be possible. Yeah, it would be possible. Let's see if it happens. For me, it doesn't matter either way. I'm hodling. But if it comes down, there would be a buying opportunity. Probably I would buy more. At 30,000 Bitcoin, I would buy more, to be honest. I would probably already start buying at 32,000 or so, buying more, something like that. But how many people are going to buy before, right? That's the big question. We have around 90 days until the halving. 94 days, I think it showed, until the halving, until the calculated halving. This is what some people are projecting for Bitcoin to happen. I mean, this goes up to 380,000. Maybe that's delusional, right? Let's see it here. So maybe that's delusional to expect 380,000 Bitcoin. But more or less, the trajectory could look like this. Maybe in a bearish case, you go to like 130, 20,000, something like this, and then you start having your sell-off like this. I don't know why this looked so weird, probably because of all the crisis shenanigans that were going on. But I think that we're going to have something like that. I think that's more or less correct. So yeah, now we have already talked 30 minutes, more than I expected about Bitcoin. Let's talk about altcoins as well. So according to Max, trader here on X, we are already in an uptrend for altcoins. If you think the altcoin rally is over, you must pay attention to this chart. Price broke out of a long bear market accumulation. It's currently in an uptrend. Price is facing its first resistance near 800 billion. Once it's broken, we can expect a nice upside. Rally till 1 trillion. So yeah, we are more or less sitting at 800 billion altcoin market cap already, right? So I think it's more, the projection here is going to several trillions in the altcoin market, but that needs for Bitcoin to rally first, so that profits can come from that, in my opinion. So accumulation phase is over. We have looked at it sufficiently, and now we will see what's going to happen. Let's look at how the market is behaving for the altcoins. By the way, I love how our community is absolutely degenerate, because they recommended the Miro coin here for our community portfolio. We're up 650%. So yesterday I asked on Twitter, so if you want to take part on the altcoin degeneracy on Twitter, yesterday I asked on Twitter what we should do. I made a poll: take initial investment, sell it all, hodl it all, and what the fuck is Miro? And people said I should either take profit or sell it all. Unfortunately, I was already sleeping when they said when sell it all went to equal with take initial investment. But we took the initial $50 out. We still have $300 of Miro back. So now we can do something else with the new $50. So we need to do an altcoin stream and decide where we ape this into next, right? On this partial altcoin pullback. But yeah, so the top 100s on the day, a lot of coins have have corrected a little bit. We see here the biggest ones are Optimism, ENS, MNT. On the week though, we are still pretty green with a lot of coins that just doubled in price, like Pulse Chain, for example, or that did 50%ers, or Sui 80%. You see it here, right? Helium token also 50%. If we look into the top 200 on the week, is nothing else of the same 3.5x on dog with head. So we see here dog coins are on the move right now. Yeah, it's still meme coin season, it's still shitcoin season, it's still Bitcoin season, right? So that is where we are. Other coins are doing solid 10 to 20%ers on a weekly basis, but that's not an altcoin season, right? So yeah, here you see it. The market is still not in a super correction mode, still green on a weekly, monthly basis. Only on the day we are a little bit reddish at the moment, but also not for all coins. The altcoin market cap has actually, or the altcoins have actually moved quite well here. So we are still heavily overbought basically on all the altcoins. We have challenged resistance, and I think there could be more downside over the next coming days, or the next 30 days. Duck and Cover says, I'm still waiting for VRA to do something. Yeah, me too. Also still waiting for VRA, but I think that is also, it's the same reason why Ecomi doesn't get attention at all. Where's our Binance listing for VRA? Yeah, correct. I think it's for VRA because they are in the gaming, entertainment, streaming niche, like where also I think Theta is, where like gaming is only part of the solution, right? They are more like an infrastructure solution for that. So I think the narrative is not really yet on that enough. So we will see. Do you think OMI pump will go along with altcoin pump or NFT pump, or both? I think okay, so it depends a little bit. If OMI, so first of all, OMI is going to pump on news, as we have seen the last time. And OMI is going to move rather with NFT. So very late. OMI is going to move very late when it's going to move. But yeah, they need to bring something that brings attention to it, because as we mentioned before in the streams, is that if they don't, so here we see it right now, we are now basically under this trend line, which I really don't like to see. Let's hope that this, because technically you have a downtrend here, right, on a shorter term basis, but nevertheless, if you take the candle bodies and you draw this line in, you have somewhat like a downtrend here now, and there's really nothing that we want to see. So if we do not come up and we say, okay, on a weekly basis this was a fake out and the trend continues, then I think that is not too good of a look. So the last time that they brought out news was here in July 2023. That is over half a year ago. That basically is, in 6 months we will have 1 year since this. That was a 120 to 130 pump, right? Percent pump. That is what happens when they bring news, and when whales write this news, right? So let's see. I mean, we will ask Ron's Cryptotherapy tomorrow what he thinks of this price action, what he thinks should be done with Ecomi, and how people can capitalize on everything. But overall, it's not looking too good. I said it before on the stream, I don't want to see this trend line lost. It is basically lost on a daily basis already. So that is nothing that I like to see, right? And considering that the market could be going down and so on, you see there's a lot of wicks selling into this price action. Not too good. Ducking Cover says, I'm going to roll the dice and pick up a bag of Omi this week before Crypto XR. Yeah. I will be at Crypto XR, and I hope I will have good news for you guys there. And I hope to see each and every one of you that is making the journey. So, yeah, I will stick to my Omi bag. I will not buy more. And until I see something substantial. Overall, we can say there's only two things that we really need. Omi to NFT and exchanges. That's the only thing that we need. Trucking Hank asks if TomTom likes Omi, the Ecomi token. I'm not sure if TomTom is already here, but still here. Justin says, imagine they only talk about Vivi. If they only talk about Vivi on a crypto event, then they clearly missed the point, right? Oh, Duckling Cover says he will be there. Okay, so we'll see each other. That's good. That's good. But you guys, this is something that I have to say. You guys have to come to talk with me because I don't know how you guys look. You only know how I look. So no one can be disappointed. Besides Trucking Hank, I know how he looks, but he's not there, I think. But you have to say, hey, look, I'm this guy from the chat. Like, hey, I'm pro legendary. Hey, I'm Duck and Cover, right? TomTom says, I lose a lot of money with Omi. Oh, damn, that's bad. Yeah, unfortunately, he's still there, so that's good. I sold at 30-50 level. 30-50 level, okay. Probably was the wiser decision, to be honest, but now it is what it is, right? So let's see how the altcoin back develops with Ecomi. If Ecomi wasn't in my portfolio would look really juicy, but Ecomi unfortunately is dragging it down. It's my worst bag at the moment. Yeah. Bad investment and bad management, true. Unfortunately, until now. Personally, I think Omi to Gem will come first, not Omi to NFT. Omi to Gem would just put more selling pressure on Omi, right? So you technically sell your Omi into... So what does the fiat on-ramp... What does the fiat, like the cash out provider basically do? They take the Omi... They sell it for dollars and then they convert the dollars into gems. So nothing else than having people move their Omi to this provider and have it sold. You need a direct integration of Omi to NFT. And that can only happen if they basically say, okay, fuck it, we don't need to have Omi being on Apple Store and Play Store, right? Because Apple Store and Play Store don't allow you to integrate that into the app, or they can only do Omi to NFT in the web version, but it's not shown in the usual mobile wallet or mobile app. TomTom says, love the app, but yeah, it was a loser for me. I bought my first Batman when there was only a few Batman on there. Oh, that's good, because the Batman is there's probably a winner for you. Trucking Hank says, Omi will have its day. Team is just way behind, unfortunately. I'm still holding. Yeah, I think it's more like it's a wild bet now, and we cannot discard that if we would have put the same money into another coin, we would be already tremendously up, could take profits and still have a free bag of Omi of the same size, right? Thompson says, I bought for $100. Was amazing. VR was awesome. Made money on the Superman, but just play money like 10k. Yeah, that's. I mean, that's really good. And if you made some money on that, that's at least a good thing, right? Ducking Cover says, everyone's losing bad on Vivi, unfortunately, but I still personally see a future for it. I also see the long-term perspective, but first of all, they have to survive it. Right now, they have to really step up their game to make people interested again, because no one likes to buy stuff on an app where you instantly lose money, right? Because if you're like, okay, this Disney drop is $50, but the moment that I go to retail, everything is below retail besides the secret rare where I only have a 1 in 20 chance to get it. So why would you then take part in drops? So that is a vicious cycle, because if people do not take part in drops anymore, then Vivi doesn't make money anymore. So they have to somehow get this excitement back, right? Yeah, I don't. So Trucking Ace says, I don't understand why people sell at a loss. They basically gamble. So here's the thing, that what they do is like the drop is $50. They hit the drop hoping for either a low mint or a secret rare. They get a high mint common, so they put it just up for sale directly to get back those gems, to put another 10 gems on top and gamble again. So that's the reason why they do it. It's fairly easy. And then someone else that didn't want to spend the $50 is just buying it for $20 on the market or whatever. TomTom says, I don't care about the Vivi money, but the Omi money lost made me angry. Really bad team. Let's see how it... I mean, for Omi to be a lucrative investment at this point, it has to run hard to make it worth. So it has to at least go back to the point where my average is, and then from there it has to at least do a 4 to 5x to make it worth not having it put into Bitcoin. And then it needs to do another 5 or 10x to make it worth not having it put into another altcoin, right? Ducky Cover says, yeah, TomTom, I often find myself hoping they'll sell Vivi to someone more professional. Oh my god. So this is exactly what they caused. They caused such a bad sentiment in the community. Yeah, and that's really it, right? So, I mean, at this point, for us to be surprised, they need to surprise us, right? With like, oh guys, you got it all wrong. We were building all the time, and here's everything. Weaververse, Omi integration, blah, blah, boom, everything out. Price goes ballistic. But who would believe in that, right? Who would believe in that? How do the licensors like Disney get commission if Omi to NFT is integrated? You just take a part of that Omi and sell it, right? So you literally, like, for example, you have the Omi price. The Omi price is every time displayed in dollars as well, or in gems as well on the app. The initial idea was that they require you to hold a specific stack of gems, and that you pay your fees, only the licensor fees and the Vivi fee in gems, and the rest in Omi. That was one idea. The other one would be just that you collect basically Omi, and what you need to have in fees for the licenses, you immediately sell to the market, which wouldn't be a problem with that integration because the prices would just skyrocket. Every of these transactions would burn Omi at the same time, right? So you would just sell a little bit of Omi, and other people would buy it on exchanges because it's a bull run, right? I think my camera is lagging. I don't know why. Yeah. I hope that gets a little bit better. Yeah. They're not selling. Yeah, they're not selling. Vivi is not a tech group. We need tech. We need a DAO token voting its governance. Yeah. The problem, I think that is all secondary. The only thing that we need is that they bring value to Omi, or that they explain why they couldn't bring value to Omi until now. That is the most important thing, because people just literally don't understand what's going on. And every time they bring something, it's like the little ugly cousin of the vision that they had before. TomTom says, don't get me wrong, I used to love Vivi, but now I just want to throw up thinking about Vivi. Yeah, I completely understand. I mean, I'm glad that I didn't put more money into that than I did, right? So I cannot imagine how the people feel that put 100% of what they had to invest into Ecomi, for example. Trucking Gang says, if China and Asia takes to Vivi, should be really interesting. Yeah, but the problem with that is that it's still, even if some Chinese people get access to Veve and buy some Veve collectibles, it still doesn't get involved, or that doesn't get OMI price up, right? Because that doesn't involve OMI. And also, actually, the China argument would be an argument to say that's probably the even more reason to not integrate OMI, because the Chinese government doesn't want any possibilities to maneuver around their currency, right? So you integrating another form of currency to purchase and sell would open a huge problem to China. So you could not integrate OMI either way if you want to provide to China. Yeah. That said, vault values are still going down. I mean, if we're looking at Stacker, you can here really see my my vault value melting away. We were at $7,000 a while ago, and now it's 6,281. So vault values have dropped once again, even despite extensive buying of some whales, right? So for example, if you look here at the current stats here until 2 days ago, we see here Bezogeman added another 837 collectibles, Colonel Sats added 232, and Goldridge added 147 at the same time. We have a new wallet here apparently, or a new one in the tops, which is Daybull 911 with 1,427 collectibles, and then some people in the 300s actually gained the most positions. That is interesting, but at the same time you already have a couple of sales here, the last position is Flickerbits with 1,332 collectibles. That's what you need to be a top 500 collector. So we really have an overweight in whales, and yeah, that's it. Duncan Cover says, "Oh, just checked, and my vault is up by 300 since last night." Yeah, I mean, maybe I have some collectibles that have lost in value, like one specific collectible that lost a pretty big in value. That could be the case, or maybe it's just like the overall market tanked, but you have a collectible that skyrocketed. I don't know. As our Spider-Mans have been selling, yeah, some collectibles have been selling big time. How long did it take to get the pick right for your stupid thumbnail? What? Where is? Oh, you mean my thumbnail here on YouTube? Oh yeah. How long did that take? I don't know. I cannot even see what is on your stupid thumbnail pic or on your stupid profile pic, Josh. But yeah, keep on hating. I appreciate it. How long did it take? I think 2 minutes. All of my amazing thumbnail positions, like this, they take 2 minutes. They take 1 minute, 30 seconds. Check out this token. It's like Veve. If these two merge, I will go all in on Omi Chronicle. Which token do you mean? Oh yeah, so the chat, sorry about that, TomTom. The chat deletes token tickers, apparently. I don't know if it's visible on my other chat. Big J78 says, realistically, you need to subtract another 30% from your vault value if you actually wanted to liquidate. Nobody is buying at floor or buying at all. Yeah, I probably have to do that because of the fees, and then also because of the fees, and then also because of the cash out fee. But on the other side, you also have to calculate that not every collectible that you own is a sell on the floor, because you probably have some that have higher mint or better mints or special mints or I don't know what, like so it more or less evens out, I think, and so I will just go with the vault value in itself. Duck and Cover says, I have no doubt it will all be back down by this afternoon. Yeah, that sometimes happens. Josh says, just kidding. Hope you have a good day. Good day to you as well, Josh. I have an amazing day. Every time I do the Crypto Morning Coffee, I have an amazing day. No worries at all. TomTom says, oh, the symbol is XNL. I found it a long time ago. It has some cool NFT, but no one is on there. Yeah, no one is on there is a bad sign for me. So it's just as bad as the team not doing anything when everyone is on there. But yeah, it is what it is, right? So yeah, there have been... So what's really a problem is that if the Vivi team doesn't take action, there's no one on Vivi also anymore. So you see it here, right? Vivi feed from yesterday. 1,287 active wallets, minus 5%. 700 sellers, 600 buyers, 174 minters. But that's also a day without a drop, right? Right now, my biggest new investment is Tia. Yeah, Tia Celestia, I think, right? Celestia, I think that's a ticker, right? Yeah. Someone said, oh, that's something for later, but that's also something for another time. But here, this with regards to buying, someone attacked the Star Wars poster, right? So someone bought from 12 gems everything up to the 30 gem mark. So that is happening. So some people are sweeping floors, and you cannot forget that Vivi NFTs are now in the bear market, probably bottom range, where Bitcoin was 1 year ago. So the NFT space is lagging a year behind everything else. The altcoins are lagging a couple of months behind, and usually, and the NFT is way behind. If you want to know more about that, I have made a video about when are the 100x gains happening, and I also explain in this video with proof when the NFT space is coming back. Matt Hoon says the fact there's a 6% licensor fee built in gives these big companies a massive incentive to promote price action and trading. Yeah, you should think so, but the main part of their money they are making with the primary drop. Obviously, they want to have cash from the secondary market action. And I think that licensors should be interested in Vivi opening up the gates for crypto to come in, crypto gains. Josh says, hope everyone watching makes 1,000x profits. Yeah, I hope so too. Everyone. That would be awesome. 1,000x on current portfolio would be awesome. But for you and everyone else and me to make 1,000x also requires that we take profits once the X's are there, and taking profits is one of the hardest things to do, and yeah, so that's it, right? That's the full story, guys. I appreciate you all discussing here with me, especially TomTom. You were killing it today. Completely on fire, the guy. We disagreed on some of the things, but I think we agree on a lot of other things. So appreciate you leading the discussion here. Appreciate everyone coming in here and discussing with us, and especially that we had 32 people here. So smash up the like button, everyone. This is really necessary for a channel to grow. So thank you very much. And yeah, Nathan, I'm at the same average as you. No, yeah, I'm at the same average as you. Exactly, almost exactly the same. 0018. So yeah, hit the like button. Make sure to stay tuned for tomorrow's live stream in the evening with Ron's Cryptotherapy and the big giveaway. And wherever you are on the world, have a great morning, evening, day, night, or afternoon. And I see you in the next live stream.